So my question is, will the animals who are partaking in reproduction be held morally accountable for not gaining consent from the other animal in the same way that the vegans want to punish the animals for consuming their prey?
Meat eating is also one of the ways gender-based structures of oppression are perpetuated. In the sexual politics of meat, I introduced the concept of animals as absent reference.
She said the sexual politics of meat. In a world where what men want is considered misogynistic and masculinity is toxic. Now, veganism, they consider themselves to be feminists.
And this is where I ask feminists what they think of the term humane killing. Can any killing actually be humane? Is this not the same oppressive language that the one we use towards animals?
Dairy is a feminist issue because of how we produce it.
The providers of dairy are female, right?
Cows are being falsely impregnated.
It completely relies on the mother
To say, how can you call yourself a feminist if you consume dairy? So, somewhat more recently, vegans have taken a strong hold on this position that they are willing to kill carnivorous creatures in the name of veganism because they say it will save animals.
A certain number of vegans within the vegan community who are saying that we should get rid of carnivores.
Now, if you also listen to vegans, they'll also make these references saying that meat consumption, dairy consumption is equivalent, comparable to, how can you say, unsolicited, inappropriate interactions with minors.
I am in this hypothetical scenario where I have a disease or where someone else has a disease, not that you can link it back to me, where they have to rape children in order to survive. Okay?
Give some examples, man. That's quite shocking.
Well, you are actually raping animals if you consume animal products,
Yeah, but
that's a whole nother.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, like I said, there is no morally substantive difference between human children and other species children.
No, not at all. Just rape kids, guys.
Okay. Now, that's not even a rational or healthy way of thinking, but that's not what this is about. The reality is that vegans believe the consumption of dairy products is comparable to unsolicited misconduct with a minor. They believe this to be true. And they say, we will kill you for consuming animal products because under our belief system, we can justify this because we can both agree that the people who are partaking in misconduct with children are deserving of said punishment. So if obligate carnivores are going to be held morally responsible for the consumption of meat, as a vegan would believe is murder, deserving of death, similar to that of the misconduct with a child. Now, if you drink milk, they will say that you support misconduct with a cow. So my question is, will the animals who are partaking in reproduction be held morally accountable for not gaining consent from the other animal in the same way that the vegans want to punish the animals for consuming their prey? Now let's use chickens for example, because this is one of the animals they want to save. If you look at the way that a rooster mates with a hen, from our point of view, the only way you could describe this is as you already know. So are roosters going to be held accountable now? Vegans are willing to completely eliminate groups of carnivorous creatures in order to save animals. Are vegans going to be willing to completely eliminate all of the males from all of these species of animals if that is what is necessary in order to stop the forceful impregnation of these animals who are not giving their consent to be mated on by the males or the roosters? A rooster is not asking a hen for permission. He runs and he jumps and he does his thing. And the hens will be literally running away. So here's the thing. Vegans are sitting back telling you that you are speciesist, you are racist, you are sexist, you are oppressing individual beings. Vegans will not want males to exist in nature because males in nature do not ask for consent to mate any more than a predator asks its prey for consent to be consumed. So they'll be parading around genetic modification to make sure testicles are inactive. They'll want to get sex changes for chickens. They are trying to stay consistent with the reasons for why they're telling you that it's wrong to consume meat. They have to dig themselves deeper and deeper into lunacy in order to justify partaking in this ritual that's based on their ideology. It's so ironic because everything they're saying was wrong to do for the sake of eating meat, they are now doing for the sake of advocating to not eat meat. Look, it's not hard to figure out. It's not just about what you're doing, but it's why you're doing it. People have the innate desire to rationalize. And that's why I don't believe veganism to even be a question of what is moral, where it's truly trying to ask a question of what is rational. Now, it is integral to the human condition to have a purpose of some sort for why they are suffering in order to even justify their own existence. The idea of irrational suffering to us is very disturbing. Now, the last thing I'd like to say is that there is a movement that is growing within veganism that is catering to this idea that they as an individual did not give anybody consent to bring them into this life. So now they feel like victims.
All right, we're here with Matt from Life Sucks. Really cool channel. Talks about antinatalism and veganism too.
But anyways, the less time we spend on social media, the happier we seem to be.